the Sacramento Kings have decided to open up on a potential trade of De'Aaron Fox ahead of the February 6th NBA trade deadline. They are now open to listening and potentially moving De'Aaron Fox ahead of the deadline. And he has 1 year after this season remaining on his deal. And there will be plenty of suitors for De'Aaron Fox ahead of free agency in 2026. But I'm told that Fox and his representation, Rich Paul of Clutch Sports, have a destination in mind that they want to go to in this trade situation. When we find out where that is, we will inform the audience. But that is something that now just, I don't know, we've been talking about Jimmy Butler for the last several weeks. De'Aaron Fox is a premier player in his prime who is just only ascending from here. This is a massive new domino into the NBA landscape. He has the ability to change the complexion of any team he arrives to. One thing I can say with Rich Paul, we know he's got LeBron James and Anthony Davis on the Lakers. I'm told the Lakers are not.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy AJ. I'm here with Rage and Cypher. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at NetsKingdom1. All our Twitters are scrolling at the bottom. And netskingdom.net for the articles. Man, oh man, De'Aaron Fox is on the trading block. We're going to talk about De'Aaron Fox. The Nets about to get De'Aaron Fox? We got a couple reports, man. So much to unpack here, but this afternoon we got the breaking news that the Kings have decided to put De'Aaron Fox on the trading block right after we do the Kings video. So obviously, and if you go to our last video, make sure you guys click on that. We talked about Cam Johnson possibly going to the Kings, but now we know that's finito because the reason why the Kings were holding back on that picks and the deal is because they're shipping De'Aaron Fox. Like, let me know what you guys first thought when you saw that report. Did it shock you, or did it or you guys just thought, De'Aaron was going to be there. He's going to be a king.
It was just crazy to first see it because we thought if anything with De'Aaron that it would be like over the offseason or when he would be a free agent when he'd actually leave,
Yeah.
and for it to happen just kind of out of the nowhere after Shay was talking about just the Jimmy Butler talk over these past few weeks, it was a really big surprise. And one of the first things I was kind of thinking about was oh, Sean might be in on that a little. Sean might be in on that a little. You never know. You never know. We know Sean likes guys that have a possibility of making sense for a longer term type of situation where they're in their prime, they're reaching it. We've heard the Giannis stuff, so it was De'Aaron, that's Sean's wheelhouse.
This was Sean Mark's shining moment right here because he's been talking about this the whole year. We got a report from Ian Begley too, real quick before Saif goes. Ian Begley reported the Brooklyn Nets are among the teams that view De'Aaron Fox as a trade target and have been monitoring the Fox situation. Not surprisingly, like Rachel was saying, because Sean has been looking for that guy, star hunting. That's the messaging he's been putting throughout the ever since we traded McHale. And then Brian Lewis reported here just about 31 minutes ago, Brooklyn sees the Kings' De'Aaron Fox guard as a trade target, though sources tell the Post that Giannis Antetokounmpo is still the ultimate prize. In this article that Brian Lewis posted, he did say, basically gave the messaging that the Nets are very interested in De'Aaron, although they're still in their rebuilding phase. And they see Giannis as the white whale, so to speak, or the finishing guy, the finishing prize. They think he is the prize that they're basically waiting for him to get to his end of his deal or complain and request out. But they would also love De'Aaron Fox. So De'Aaron Fox is obviously in their wheelhouse. So last night we played the Kings before I go to Saif. We saw Jordy and we saw De'Aaron Fox. They're great friends and they're close. That led to speculation that, the Nets might be, interested. But Saif, let me ask you this: if you're the Nets, why isn't this a good move right now? I know some anti-tank Nets fans are gonna be like, "We got our star. He's 27. He's in his prime. This is the move. We can get our star and start from here." Why do you think this is not a good move for the Nets?
Well, the anti-tankers are just dumb. So I just ignore them at this point. Look, De'Aaron Fox is a phenomenal basketball player. Averaging 25 points, I believe. Yeah, 25 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 47 from the field, 32 from three, 83 from the free throw line.
Yeah.
Very good slasher, really fast, getting to the rim, knows how to get into the mid range. Three ball is generally a negative, but he's still a fantastic player. Made All NBA a couple years, perennial All Star.
Yeah.
Just turned 27 a few months ago, so he's still in his prime.
Yeah.
He is less risky than the players that we have traded before in the past.
Mhm.
The problem is it makes no sense right now at this moment. And even in the offseason, it doesn't make any sense. So, according to that report from Ian Bagley, it
Mhm.
sounds like this is more the Nets are more interested in him than he is interested in us. And
Yeah.
that makes plenty of sense. I believe Fox has his preferred destinations, as Shams said in this video. Theoretically, the Spurs. Here, the Nets are tanking. Look, the Nets are the fifth worst team in the NBA right now at the night of this recording. Tomorrow we play Charlotte, so hopefully that changes.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to give up because Fox is making, I believe, $35 million.
Yeah.
You have to give up probably Cam Johnson and another guy.
Yeah. Until you got to center it around CJ or center it around Clax. They probably would. They probably would want Cam Thomas. They probably would want Thomas in there. They want
and
Cam
a couple
Thomas.
of draft picks, and it just doesn't make any sense to give assets to trade for Fox right now when you're definitely not going to make the playoffs either way.
Yeah,
and you're trying to tank for a pick, so it makes no sense right now. And even in the offseason, let's just say the Nets do get Cooper Flack and they get the number one pick. You still have to let Cooper develop for at least one season before you start making these other moves. You got to develop that player, let him figure out the system, how to acclimate to the NBA. It just makes zero sense at this stage, unless you plan on just overturning the whole roster, trading all the picks, and just doing another Frankenstein superstar team again.
Yeah. Because we talked about this before, how the Nets have been messaging star hunting. We're star hunting. We're looking for the guy. And finally, Sean gets his one shining moment that the De'Aaron Fox is on the trade market. And we all know, like, between OKC and the Nets, we have the most assets in the NBA. Like, if Sean wanted to hit the red button right now and get De'Aaron Fox, he probably could. You could probably outbid every single team. You could probably put a whole bunch of guys in there. CJ, Nick Claxton, Cam Thomas, picks galore. You could probably
so many picks.
he has all the picks
so
he can,
coveted now.
So if he wanted to hit the red button, he could, but it's not smart to. Like Cypher was saying, it wouldn't be smart because you want to value those two picks you traded for, those traded with Houston and get your picks back. 4 for 2, 25 and 26. We just traded DFS. We just traded Dennis to tank, to be bad. We're trading for that number one to be bad. So it's like adding De'Aaron Fox wouldn't be smart, even though our name is going to be put in there because we have all this cap space next year and we have all the assets. We have probably one of the most assets right now between us and OKC. We have Jordy Fernandez, De'Aaron Fox's buddy guy. His coach. He probably would love to be coached by Jordy. Like, that's his guy. So it's like they're going to put us in the De'Aaron Fox talk. And like I said, I think Cypher's saying, like, the Nets are definitely Sean. What do we call it, Rage? It's the Sean's wet dream. It's Sean's wet dream to have a star on the table. He was waiting for the disgruntled star. This is Sean's been waiting for his moment. A disgruntled star has come to the line and literally said, I want out. And it's a 27-year-old guy in his prime, and you have his ex-coach, all the cap space in the world, and a whole bunch of assets to trade for. Like, it's the perfect. If Sean wanted to hit the red button, he could. But as Nets fans, we can't let that happen. I mean, we gotta pray
that's the thing that's always scared me about this Nets front office. It just this constant desire to skip steps, to speed run rebuilds, to just trade everything for all these stars. In the last 15 years, it's never worked. It's never worked. It's always blown up in our faces. And especially with Fox, like, he's young, but he's going to be a free agent in 2026.
Yeah.
Like, if you trade for him and then he doesn't want you want him. Yeah. So if he's unhappy for whatever reason, he could just walk in 2026 free agency and you just gave up those assets for nothing, kind of like you did with Harden.
Yeah. And before I want to get to the King side of it, I just want to speak a little quickly about that. If, let's say, and I was telling Rage this, like, our best case scenario is if De'Aaron stayed, right? This way, if he stayed with the Kings, it brings us closer to that 2026 summer, because at that 2026 summer, when he's available, it's us coming off of that AJ DeBansta Cam Boozer draft. So we just coming off, let's say we get Cooper or Dylan or Harper in this draft. Next year, we draft AJ. Then you set us up in the summer. It's like, now you can think, should I hold and let these guys develop, or should I shoot for the stars right now? Because we hear Sean wants this to be a quick rebuild. So he wants to start. We heard in Brian Lewis's report, he wants Giannis. So it's like, we look at the 2027 free agents, and it's a whole bunch of guys coming off their contracts. So it's like, do I shoot for the star that right after the draft, I get AJ, I get Cooper? Do I shoot for the star right then, or do I wait, develop my my rookies and these young guys, and then maybe 2028 see what I'm working with if we're competitive? Like, what do you think the Nets should do if De'Aaron Fox actually stays with the Kings until that moment? I don't think he will, but what do you think the latest he would be traded, Cypher? What do you think do you think they're going to hold him until next deadline, or would they be,
No,
if they didn't get the deal they were doing, or he'd be gone in the summer?
he'd be gone in the summer. They're not going to take this till the deadline when he has like 3 months left on his contract.
Yeah.
And here's the thing with Fox: if he does get traded in the offseason of 2025, he's going to get the extension pretty quickly. Because if he gets his preferred destination, like, no team is going to trade for De'Aaron Fox unless they know. Unless they know that extension, he'll agree to the extension.
Yeah, that makes sense, because you don't want to lose him right after you get him, because like, we have the assets to hit that button, and if he's on, let's say he goes to the Spurs in 2 days, the preferred destination, the Spurs. What happens if he gets on the Spurs and he doesn't extend? That's when they're like, is he still available? Can we still shoot for that 26? So a lot of things could unpack here with De'Aaron Fox, but let me ask you, Rage, the Kings, man, because a lot of Kings fans, shout out all the Kings fans that tapped in last video. What are the Kings gonna do? Like, what direction do you go in now that you just coming off a great, 11-2? I don't know. They were on a great winning streak. You were looking good into the trade deadline. I know you were thinking about getting Cam Johnson, but you guys were like, nah, we might be okay with these. We're starting to get into our groove. They just got, I think, after Doug Christie. Is that the coach that stepped in after they fired Mike Brown? Christie?
Yeah, Doug Christie.
Doug Christie, yeah. After Doug Christie took charge, they started winning in 2025. And then they were thinking like, okay, we might be good. We might not need CJ, or, we'll see what happens. You win games, and then you're trading your franchise guy. You're trading your star. I don't know between Sabonis and him, but one of your franchise pillars. So it's like, are you in a rebuild, or if you're trading for De'Aaron, are you blowing it up right now, or are you saying, let's see if we can get win now pieces, and I could take this Kings team to the Western Conference Finals? What do you think?
It's so hard to say because,
Yeah.
Obviously the Kings have been just in purgatory for so long. Obviously, we know what it's like, but the Kings have obviously just not had great luck over the past few decades. And,
Yeah.
For De'Aaron Fox to ask out almost 3 years after Tyrese Halliburton was traded and they made him the guy, it's a rough situation to be in. But like with with still having DeMar DeRozan, Sabonis, and some other key filler guys, and only getting guys in guys in return for a De'Aaron Fox trade and picks. I think they're going to try to do what they can to stay afloat. Like, obviously, DeMar DeRozan's only so good, and they have Sabonis, but still having those guys and Keegan Murray and just some other some building blocks that help, get them back to where they were. They're not necessarily like too far from being back at where they were. Fox is very good, but I think with, a return that's pretty solid, they can go and try and get something in the near future. But, it's just so hard to go back into that rebuild mode if you're the Kings after everything that they've been through. But it might have to be the case. But I think they'll try to do anything they can to stay afloat because they don't want to trade Fox. None of them want to trade Fox. They don't want to be in this situation.
Yeah. And with that being said, like, they have a pick, right? Because they're in that middle between, like, we're not bad enough to get our pick back, because I think that pick they have this year might be protected, 1 through something. It's like, we're not bad enough to get our pick, and we're not good enough to be in the playoffs. I think they're in the middle, right? They're in the 8th, 9th. We're our fringe playoff team. So it's like,
the pick is top 12 protected.
top 12 protected. See, so they have to, if they're gonna rebuild and hit that switch, which will, I mean, I guess the Nets have been the only team to rebuild at the deadline, right? Throw away your whole team at the. There's too many guys to flip. You can't flip Sabonis. You can't flip all these guys. DeMar. You can't flip all these guys at the deadline. We only
It
have
can't
what,
be
2
this
weeks?
year. It
Yeah,
can't be this year. Like there'd be a lot would have to materialize very fast
yeah.
Well, here's
for
the thing,
the
though.
Kings to.
Mhm.
The West is such a bloodbath. Like, okay, their pick is top 12 protected. Right now, it's projected to be 13.
Wow.
Like, if they lose Fox, they're not going to get equal value in terms of players back for Fox.
Right.
So they could just naturally lose games, keep those guys, shop them in the offseason, and still probably get their pick back.
Okay, so you think like even just losing Fox, they're probably going to get whatever salary guys and whatever, they'll still be a mid. Let's say mid enough to get a good pick, a lottery pick.
Yeah, at least to get within those protections.
Yeah. Okay, so that's fair enough. So like I said, you don't have to shoot for this. You don't have to, I guess, rebuild now and flip guys now. I think you just probably trade De'Aaron and see where it goes. But it's like, it's interesting how Kings fans are feeling because they're stuck in purgatory in that middle piece, like where we were. It's like you're not good enough, you're not bad enough. So it's like you're just mid. But you have so many. You got an all-star Sabonis, you got DeMar, you got so many pieces around you, good guys that can give good talent, that they could still win games. They could possibly still win games without De'Aaron and still be a 9th, 8th seed fringe playoff team. But it's like, if I'm the Kings GM, I'm either trading for a win now piece at this deadline, or I'm gonna hold. I'm holding. You know what I'm saying? If I don't get what I want, I'm holding because I could wait till the summertime. You know?
Well, the De'Aaron Fox thing is so okay. The Kings are only doing this because they must be confident that Fox is gone in 2026.
Yeah.
They must be confident, meaning I don't know, it's just rough for them because they finally got good.
Yeah.
They were the third seed a couple years ago.
Yeah.
They still won plenty of games last year and made the play-in, missed the playoffs, but still they were still a solid team. And then this year, like playing, but they're still a couple games above 500. I mean, this is the first time. This is a 3-year stretch where the Kings are actually like a competent basketball team.
Yeah.
And it just really hurts for them that Fox wants out. Well, he didn't request a trade, but
he has to want out. He has. We know he's probably at that point. Like, this is where we can go into a deep dive here, but I don't want to go too deep. What's his relationship with the front office? Kings fans, let us know. Like, do you think De'Aaron went to the front office like, listen, I'm out in 26, so you guys got to move me? And we heard Rich Paul say it's time now to move him.
Well, that report said he didn't. It specifically said he didn't request a trade.
He did,
because Shams would have said De'Aaron Fox requested a trade. It means that he must be just patient. Like, he just is going to walk in 2026. He's gonna. I actually respect it because players nowadays they don't care. Like, look at Jimmy Butler. He's like, I want out, and Fox is actually doing what LeBron and Durant did. It's like, I'm gonna
keep playing.
I'm gonna honor my contract, play well, but when I become a free agent, which is my right, I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah, because I think even if he stays, like, obviously Kings fans are not gonna be happy, but they're gonna see he's gonna be professional. He's still gonna go out there and play hard. Like, he's still gonna give you buckets and do what he does. But everybody knows in the back of their mind, like, yo, this guy's gone.
He's trying to leave, like he wants to leave.
It's like he wants. Because I'm thinking, like, the Kings wouldn't come out and do this now unless either A, De'Aaron's putting pressure on them, like, yo, I'm out, get me out of here, or B, they know they got to like, okay, this is the moment we're gonna get the most value right now, or this is the moment we can get a win now piece. Maybe we have to get rid of this guy right now and let's get it over with before we get to the summer, or before we get to it's too late.
Well, like, Fox is averaging 37 minutes per game. Like, this isn't a guy who's like quitting. It's like he is being. You gotta respect it. He's being a professional, and he's probably right to just play out his contract.
Yeah.
I don't know. The whole internal thing. Like, it's hard to speculate because we don't have all the information yet.
Yeah.
But it just seems like he signaled, "Hey, I'm not requesting a trade, but I'm not extending."
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because the Kings would have just waited until the offseason, see if he extended then. And then if he didn't, then this whole thing would have happened. But the fact that they're being proactive with it now means that, Fox must have signaled, hey, it doesn't matter what we do. I'm not going to be here in 2026.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments, and make sure you guys hit that like button. What do you guys think? Kings fans, tap in. Let us know about this. Were you shocked about the De'Aaron Fox news? Where do you want De'Aaron Fox to go? What trade package do you want for him? We know we're hearing Spurs, so is it Keldon, Vassell? Let us know the packages. And then for the Nets fans, De'Aaron Fox, we're gonna be putting the rumors of he wants to come here and he's a trade destination because we have all that cap space. So what do you guys think about Sean? Do you think Sean's going to make the star hunt move and go for De'Aaron, or is he going to hold back, let the rebuild develop, and then see what happens later with the stars? So let us know in the comments. Again, hit that like button for us. Instagram is NetsKingdom1. All our Twitters are scrolling at the bottom, and netskingdom.net for all the articles. Appreciate you guys so much. We'll be back.